Alright, here we have a 741 row, my favourite row on the farm, the heaviest producing row except for the A38s. This is about 24 years old, 23, not all that tall. If I come out here, you can see the spread on these limbs and the tree is phenomenal. We removed an A16 row here about 6 or 7 years ago, replanted it. This one's actually a 246, another one of my favourites. And as a result, 741s, even though people say they're upright trees, when they're allowed space, the limbs definitely spread exceptionally more than say most other varieties. I find that absolutely incredible. Dark green foliage, heavy cropper. We got about 30 kilos from these last year. It was so thick on the ground, the harvester sort of has trouble picking it up. But again, that's a fantastic problem to have. So it'd be a good old 6 to 6.5 tonnes a hectare in an 8x4 pattern. This is definitely just to show you the benefit of having low branches. You can see here how wide and lofty. See them sway up and down. Look at this, just reaching out, having a great old time. Nice and low, probably 2 to 3 feet, most of these branches all the way along. Again, back to the importance of when you have a young tree and people go along with these crazy high skirts, this is the numbers that I always like to think of. We can always remove him at a later date. We've got another set, a scaffolding branch up here, another metre higher. We could remove our low one, he's only about, I don't know, 3 feet off the ground, that branch there. We could remove him, send our sap up to the tree to feed the other ones. But again, these little branches are thin, right? Look at the good crop. But see me, that's just me just giving a little pull, nothing major. Look at the size of it, lofty, full of sap and vigour. So basically, why we want to say leave these low branches, even though it's a problem for machinery, I'm just purely about the maths here. So I'm getting roughly, say, off this set of branching and that set there going out, another 2 kilos. So usually it's repeated on the other side. There's another big branch going out, another 2 kilos. So we usually get, say, 2 in this low sort of skirt. Like most people go up 2 or 3 metres, we go about a metre. So we're getting 2 extra branches there and a big one over here. So usually it gives me about a 7 to 8 kilo increase. Now that's like, you know, say between 2 and 2.3 tonnes per hectare, just by having a metered skirt, not a huge high, you know, luxury access sort of style farm. It's a bit more maintenance, but definitely the money pays for labour significantly, many times over. And have a look at the sort of V and arch it makes in here. Look at down here. See that? So offset machinery is very key to getting under these trees. I've always had a saying, you know, we'll produce as much crop as possible and somehow we'll pick it up. We always do. It's always sometimes a challenge, but that extra 2 tonne a hectare, that just boggles the brain. People don't sort of try and maintain these low branches. So when this row was removed, these low branches that were sort of up high like that one, they've creeped right down here. Crazy amount of load, huge crop, always consistently, heaps more leaves to produce a heavy crop and a consistent crop. It doesn't really do anything so much to, you know, not having airflow. It seems to be lofty enough that the air gets right in the canopy. As you can see, we've got leaf and vigour right up in the trees here. Leaf, vigour everywhere. And it crops exceptionally well. So that's sort of why I'm trying on this farm here. When we remove our rows, we want to maintain that when we do it, we've still got our low branches. And that just gives us a higher tonnage per hectare, and that's just an interesting way to have a look at. And that's just with the space on one side. If we had it on both sides here, we'd be able to maintain these low branches here, grow them out thicker, heavier crop load, and the ones up top here would droop down, and we'd probably be able to create another sort of tonne to a tonne and a half per hectare. So we're sort of thinking that we could easily get a 6 to 7 tonne a hectare with that sort of 15 metre space. So I'm pretty happy with that. Cheers.